Hello, hello, hello again, people. It's me again. It's Katie from Soul Exploring Numerology. Excited to be back here today doing the Life Path 6. Before we start though, if you're struggling with any of your numbers, your life path, expression, or any other your core numbers, struggling to calculate them, I'm going to put a link to how to calculate your numbers in the description box below this video. Okay, so today is the Life Path 6, the next one in the series. Right, so the Life Path 6, your chosen mission that you've chosen to accept is to work with issues around your vision of the ideal. You're very much the idealist, and acceptance of reality, to put that in fewer words, but I will elaborate as we go further on. Right, so this is what you're here to do. This is what your soul's contract is, that you set with your spirit guide. You're here to reconcile your high ideals with practical reality, to accept yourself, that's a big one, the world, definitely, and the present moment with the knowledge that life is already perfect, just the way it is. Okay. It's a very big thing for the Life Path 6 to have very, very, very high ideals and be constantly disappointed by the actual practical reality. This is one of your big key issues for you to deal with in this incarnation. You need to realize too that it's who you are that matters, not how well you do or what you know or what car you own or whether you wear designer labels. You know, it's who you are as a person and how you treat others. That's what you're here to learn to come to terms with. You need to overcome your perfectionist tendencies by remembering the big picture and the real priorities rather than the petty details. For example, if you want a really lovely family meal with your family, you know, and then you get all het up and angry because somebody's spilt crumbs on the floor, you know, you're letting the petty details of the evening destroy the big picture. You know, you wanted a nice evening. You're here to sort of rise above the petty frustrations and issues of life and keep that big picture in mind. Okay. Overcoming self-judgments. That is what you get when you're an idealist, or you have standards of how you think you or others should live or how the world should be. You're going to judge the world when it doesn't fit, and yourself is who you judge the most, unfortunately. It can give you confidence issues, anxiety, but you also judge others, and it can also, on the flip side, make you a bit self-righteous at times. I do this and he doesn't. You know, I'm the better person here. You know, and you can be a little bit like that. So you need to overcome that kind of judgment about others and yourself, and gain a healthy balance between giving and receiving. You're a very compassionate and giving person, very emotional, and you give your all to others. But there must come a time where you deal with yourself and you look after your own needs. And one of the things you're here to deal with is to gain a balance between giving to others and taking care of yourself. Very important, Life Path 6. Right. So if you're vibrating as a high vibrational 6, let's say you've already achieved your life path, you're a visionary of the ideal, calling us to do our best. Now, you know, idealism gets a tough rap, you know, with all the things that go on in the news and things like that. But to me, idealism will always be needed because it's that goal that we always look to achieve. We never quite get there, of course we don't. But if we don't have that goal, we'll never even try to take steps towards it. And even an unachievable goal can keep you striving. So I'm very much a fan of idealism because it calls us to try our best, even if we fail. You have ideals of justice, absolutely, form, how things should look. oh, goodness, are you really uppity about the way things look, the way your home looks, the way you look? And relationships, you can get a little bit, oh my God, he's amazing, he's the best thing, he's perfect. You've just built him up in your mind, him or her, because when you see the reality and the fact that maybe he or she isn't that amazing person that you first assumed he or she would be, it can cause disappointments. So yeah, you have ideals of justice, form and relationships. I must keep to the positive here. This is a high vibrational 6, KT. So you have ideals of justice and relationships, accept that life is unfolding just as it should, and find the heart and patience to share your higher vision. There's no reason why you shouldn't share your ideals with others, but have the patience to realize that, it won't necessarily unfold, and the world is, as much as bad things happen, there is a reason for that. Acceptance forms a bridge to a more joyful life. Well, what's the opposite of acceptance? It's non-acceptance. And non-acceptance breeds frustration and criticism and low energy and anger. And you're never going to be joyful if you don't accept things for how they are. There are some things that you can change. By all means, work to change them. That's what we're here for. But there are some things that you can't necessarily change, especially on your own. We need acceptance. You need to... Things are happening just the way they should, and I'm trying my best. Okay. Embracing everyone else as they are, including yourself. And realizing really that problems are opportunities and learning opportunities in disguise. To me, if we all lived in utopia, none of us would learn anything. It'd be a great old life, but yeah, you'd be relaxing and not really having much responsibility. But I don't know, I just think we'd get a bit bored, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. Apply a bit more patience and less frustration, because you can get quite frustrated, you 6s. Much more realism. You need to balance that realism and flexibility, inspired by your ideals and what could be, but no longer using them as a benchmark. That wasn't very well read, but what I mean by that is when you have benchmarks that you stick to really tightly, it will make you annoyed, frustrated, judgmental, because things aren't going the way you want them to go. Sometimes it's better to release that need to hit a benchmark and see it as something that you'd love to achieve, but realistically it might not be something you can achieve yet, or at all maybe. Right, so what do you bring? So as I've said, you're that visionary with a utopian world vision, keeping the flames of idealism alive, which, is important. You work hard then for a better world, and you want to help the less fortunate. You're very compassionate. If you saw a puppy that had been hurt, you'd be in tears. You're a cause fighter and a justice seeker. There's that idealism coming in. You inspire others to give them hope and direction with your ideals. You accept yourself and the world just how it is when you're at a high vibration. Now, this is a bit of a sticky one for a lot of life path 6s, but when you're vibrating highly, you accept yourself for who you are and the world and others for just the way it is. And you realise that it's who you are that matters, not how well you do or who you know. You're very family orientated, very responsible, very sensible, very trustworthy, parental, nurturing, loving, warm, social, outgoing, supportive. You've got skills of supportive leadership. You're encouraging, and you're a great loyal advisor and confidant. Your friends can talk to you about anything and you wouldn't go around blabbing. You'd give you'd give some good advice. You build close, sincere relationships, very much a big thing for the Life Path 6. They love to connect. You're a loyal friend. You hate conflict, so you're very much the mediator. Very musical, very, very musical. Michael Jackson was a Life Path 6, and many others that just are not coming to mind at the moment. The 2, the 11 and the 6 especially have a great deal of musical abilities, whether you're playing an instrument or whether you're singing. You love beauty, you love making your house look gorgeous, you love making yourself look gorgeous. You love art. As I said, your home is your castle. It's where you feel comfortable and you love to make it look beautiful. Okay, your challenges. As an idealist, of course, you're going to have issues with not always being grounded in reality. You need to overcome, not totally overcome idealism, but maybe still be an idealist, but maybe be a pragmatic idealist, which means that you strive for the ideal, but you realize that that ideal is difficult and it might not always be achieved. But that doesn't mean that you don't think that ideal should still be looked towards. You have idealized views that lack discrimination or perspective, causing disappointment. So your ideal, like for example, expecting lots of help from the state, but not expecting the state to tax you to get that money back. In the real world, things run out and you can't just give things away as much as anyone would like to. So there is an element of practical reality, in fact, a strong element of practical reality that the 6 really has to deal with in order to avoid disappointment in their lives. You tend to see the world as either perfect or flawed. It's either good enough or it's not, which can, give you an idealized version, which can cause disappointment again, but also make you judgmental of what you consider as flawed. You're demanding and pessimistic due to your high standards, very much so. My daughter is a life path 6 and the most demanding person in the world, but I won't keep on about that one. You can lose the big picture because you get caught in the petty detail. Perfectionists, they just want every little detail right, and you can get lost in that, and then you behave in a way which takes you away from your big picture. It's not something. It's something you want to keep an eye on there. Life path 6s. Perfectionism and getting lost in petty details. Yeah, as I've talked about that already. Compare and judge acutely, and you're acutely sensitive to judgment from others. You judge yourself enough, and to get judgment from others as well is a double hit to your very passionately emotional nature. But you also compare and judge yourself. You feel responsible for everyone's needs and forget yourself. You need to find that balance, as I mentioned earlier, between taking care of others and taking care of yourself. Otherwise, you end up in burnout. You've got to take care of yourself. You need to take a look at what you really feel and not what you think you should feel. So I guess in a different way of saying it, be a bit more true to yourself. If you don't feel something is right, or you don't agree with something, you shouldn't have to feel that way. You can feel how you want to feel, for want of a better word. That was a bit garbled, wasn't it? So feel what you want to feel, not what you think you should feel. That's a better way of saying it, Katie. Self-imposed pressure can cause the development of asthma and respiratory distress. Very much so. I was very taken aback when I looked at my daughter's numbers many years ago when she was born, and then she, not long after that, ended up in hospital with her asthma. So this started very early on. This can start very early on in the 6's life. Self-imposed pressure and self-esteem issues. Just to add to that as well, when my daughter's at her most confident, her asthma seems to magically disappear. There's a little bit of a learning point there. Right, yes, you quit because if you don't try, you can't fail. If you don't think you're going to measure up, you don't try, because then you won't have the pain of failure. Very much my daughter as well. You can appear detached or cold while trying to do the right thing. Yeah, and while you're trying to help others, you can be a bit of a meddler. You can get a bit too involved. You think you're helping, but you're meddling. You know, the archetypal mother-in-law getting involved. Rah, 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 rah. Anyway, not that that's been in my experience or anything. Anyway, unsolicited advice, very much so, and you don't really like it sometimes. Well, my daughter doesn't when you don't agree with her unsolicited advice. Very materialistic. She's obsessed with clothes and cars and makeup and very, very vain. Lives in front of the mirror. What can I say? As a 7, I'm not vain at all, so I really noticed that. Right, moving on. But you can be a life path 6, which is what I've just described. If you're just a life path 6, if your birth numbers, if the elements of your birth numbers add up just to a 6, what I've just said is purely you. Okay, so the slides that I've just mentioned are you. Okay, but there are 5 other types of life path or expression or birthday or whatever number 6. And I'm going to do these in order. Right, before I start though, these numbers here are your what's called your sub-lessons, or I like to call your steps to help you achieve the best, or to help you be the best life path 6 that you can be. The most important of these 2 numbers is the number closest to the slash. Sorry, I love doing that. Very weird. So the number closest to the slash, or the numbers furthest to the right, is the most important of the 2 sub-lessons, with the 1 sub-lesson still being a factor, but less of an importance, less of a focus. Okay, so to be the best life path 6, this the 156 could be, is to use the sub-lessons of the 5 and the 1 in that order. Okay, and I'm moving on and I'll tell you a bit more. So the life path 156, because it's the most significant sub-lesson, I'm starting with the 5 because it's the first number on this side of the slash. Okay, if you always think of it, the number furthest to the right is the most important. The 6 is always the most important. The 5 is the most important sub-lesson, and then the 1 is significant but not as important as the other 2. I hope you remember that sequence. So to be the best life path 6 you can be in this incarnation, you must find freedom through discipline and focus and depth of experience. For want of a better word, having a specialism. Taking your mind away from looking everywhere for experience and excitement and adventure, and finding one passion or ability or something that you're really good at, that you can really focus on and make your specialism. Then with this specialized knowledge, you can bring realistic, and we focus on realistic because of the 6 here, new, unique, groundbreaking ideas with confidence and independence. You see, I've put them in order of importance. So to be the best life path 6, to bring practical reality or understand and accept practical reality, you need to focus on a specialism and bring unique, groundbreaking ideas with confidence and independence to that specialism. I'm going to say that again. If you're a life path 156, you're here to reconcile your high ideals with practical reality and accept yourself, the world, and the present moment with the knowledge that life is already perfect. To achieve this, you need to develop a specialism, because I guess looking into something or a topic or a situation into depth, you can't help but understand the realism. You may have ideas about your specialism, of how you think things should be, and that could maybe be channeled through your innovative new ideas, but they must be realistic. Okay, so linking these 3 together, understanding practical reality by achieving a specialism, and then bringing that specialism forward with realistic, innovative ideas. So as a high vibrational 156, you've realized that reality must always be considered and accepted. that it's who you are that matters, not how well you do or what you know. You've overcome your perfectionist tendencies by remembering that the big picture and the real priorities are the most important thing, not the nitpick details. That's the 6 energy, the most important. To do that, you have a specialism that you've studied so deeply that the reality of the situation is hard to dismiss. And you're evolving this specialism with realistic, groundbreaking new ideas that you express confidently. So as a 156 energy, you have the potential to be perfectionistic and uptight because of your ideals, and this should be like this, but it's not. Deal with it. So you can be a bit uptight about that. You judge yourself and others, causing confidence issues, because if you're always judging yourself, you're not going to like yourself very much, are you? You can get stuck on the petty detail. And in the 5 energy here, it can make you a little bit scattered, forgetful and undependable and unable to commit to anything. The confidence issues in the 1 is kind of spoken about here. And the 1 can sometimes be a bit angry and assertive at times, but that'll be lesser of an issue, hopefully, for the 156. Right, the 246. Because it's the most significant sub-lesson, again, I'm going to start with the 4. So repetition here, but it'll get it in your mind. I'm starting with the 4. So to be the best life path 6 you can be, to accept that practical reality, you must achieve stability and security by following a planned process towards your goal, be organised, structured and have a plan, whilst cooperating with others harmoniously as part of a team. And you can see here where I've put what energy that each comment relates to. So if you are a life path 24 or 246, you are here to reconcile your high ideals with practical reality, to accept yourself in the world in the present moment, which is what I've said before, which is your life path 6. But you're here to, the steps you need to achieve the 246 is you will need a firm grip on reality. So very much even more important for the 246 to be grounded in reality. You need to have a firm grip on practical reality and a step-by-step plan, perseverance and hard work. You're going to have obstacles in the way, but you need to persevere through them and work hard. With the social skills, tact and diplomacy to get the job done behind the scenes and work successfully alongside others, because it's really hard to achieve anything big without others to help you. And you have that ability in your, or you have that need in your sublessons. Your 246 energy in the positive, so when you're very high vibrational, you've realised that reality is always accepted, like the other life path 6. It's who you are that matters. You're very big picture. You don't nitpack. But you also have a realistic watertight plan, a step-by-step process to ensure you build a strong foundation. Now, even within that step-by-step process and planning, you're going to be made aware of the reality of your dreams, your ideals. And that must be taken into account when you're doing your planning, that you're actually doing the planning from a realistic mindset. Okay. And with this, you build that strong foundation with amazing social skills to support the team so that you can all work together to achieve the goal. But with the 156 energy, you do have the potential to be perfectionistic, which all life path 6s do, making you uptight and judge yourself and others, which is echoed from the other life paths. Stuck on petty detail. But the negative version of the 4, they can be quite directionless, lazy and disorganized, because the 4's here to be planned, focused, hardworking and totally organized. But on the other side of that continuum, you can also be low self-esteem, directionless, depressive, isolate yourself. That's something that a lot of life path 4s do. Cutting corners because of your impatience so that your foundation, you haven't achieved a stable foundation. If you cut corners and you put less bricks in your foundation, it's all going to topple over at the end of the day. So you need to be meticulous. When an architect is, or a builder is building a house, every little detail has to be done right, because weaknesses and perfections in the structure cause the whole thing to crash down and all that work gone to waste. Okay, really important. Next one, now my master number. Now, right, for this one, I've put it in my Life Path 6 video, but really it's master number. So I'm going to repeat this again in my master number video, which is to come. But because you are here to achieve a Life Path 6, be it a higher vibrational version of that 6, I still felt that it had to be included in my Life Path 6 video. So when you have a double number energy, the numbers to the left become the most important thing. It kind of sniffs in or crashes in the path of the right to left importance that I just told you about. When there's a double number, these two numbers become your focus, and the life path number is a higher vibrational of a number of a 6. You're not just a 6, you're a super duper M&S high vibrational 6. Okay, so if you're a double number, there is more emphasis put on these numbers, as I've said. The master number 33, or the double energy of the 3, takes priority, but any master number is a very, very big job. It means really that you're an old soul. If you are a life path 11, 22 or 33, some include 44, 55, past then's getting impossible, I think. People consider those as master energies, and you get those when you have had many, many, many past lives. So you've done all your college, you've done your degree, now you're taking a master's degree, okay? Maybe even heading towards PhD level or top level 8, okay? So this is not going to be easy. You're going to have a lot of energy provided to you by the universe. You're going to get nervous tension. It is not an easy life path. So when you're a master number, you are not a master. Sorry to disappoint. You are here to master a number energy, like the 1, the 2, the 3, 4. Okay, so you are here to learn to master one of the number energies. You're in no way a master. Okay, so getting back to the job in hand. So additionally, you are a life path 6, but you're a higher vibration of the 6. And being a master number as well, it makes you more spiritual. You're more likely to be perceptive, psychic, empathic. You'll be able to channel spiritual energy because the veil between you and the spirit world is thinner, which, gives amazing possibilities for your psychic development. We all have the ability to be psychic, but some people find it easier than others, and the master energies are those people. So if you're a life path 33-6, you have double the need to utilize your emotional sensitivity, and boy, are you emotionally sensitive, to bring positive self-expression to the world, to inspire and delight. It's the actor through performance. It's the public speaker, the person that changes people's perceptions, which can be used for good or bad, unfortunately. And Hitler would have been one of those people that would have used his ability to express himself verbally for bad things. Anyway, I'm not going to focus on that. So double the need to utilize your emotional sensitivity to bring positive self-expression to the world through performance, public speaking, teaching, artistic expression, gymnastics, dance, music. But you also need to confront issues of blocked or distorted expression, like some life path 3s and 33s start life off with poor communication skills or having a bit of a stutter, or they might be painfully shy and feel difficult communicating and expressing themselves with others, which tends to develop as you get older. But that's what you're here to develop, and that's why you have that issue, because that's what you're here to achieve. As well as emotional oversensitivity. I have 3 in my numbers, and you can be emotionally explosive. And most of the time, emotional oversensitivity doesn't do you well. Only when you're using it for intentionally, because you can just explode. Anyway, I'll come on to that in a minute. Because of the 6 energy within you and the higher vibration of it, you're also parental, a responsible nurturer, always wanting to help the less fortunate in your family or community, with the need to accept reality without judgment. This is what this whole video has been all about. So in the positive, you've realized that reality, it must always be accepted. That is who you are that matters. You've overcome your perfectionist tendencies by remembering the big picture. You express yourself to your audience like a rock star, in whatever way you express yourself. Even when you express yourself with your art, your ability to express yourself is incredible. Sorry, it's just my cat. And others can hang on your every word, because you have that ability to connect with your audience, know what they're feeling, say and do the right things and draw them in. But you have the usual difficulties of the life path 6, uptight, perfectionistic, and also added issues with your master energy of nervous tension because of the sheer amount of energy you get pounded with all the time, judging yourself and others. But with the 3 energy, you can be extremely self-involved in your passion, or totally directionless. You go from one end of the extreme to the other. But when you do have a passion, you completely are self-involved and it's all about you, if you're at a low vibration. Or you can be totally directionless and you can, not care. But this is less so in the 33, because you tend to be a little bit better in your 3 energy. But you are potentially emotionally explosive, even at times abusive if you don't keep yourself in check. And that's also true of the 3 energy also. Okay, the 426, because it's the most significant sub-lesson, again, I'm going to start with the 2. So to be the best life path 6 you can be in this incarnation, to accept practical reality, you need to work alongside others, because I guess working alongside others helps you realize that maybe your ideas don't always fit the practical reality. And utilizing the team to achieve stability and security by following a realistically planned process, the 4. So to be the best life path 6 you can be, you need to work alongside others harmoniously, whilst having a plan that you work hard with perseverance to achieve. If you're a life path 24/6, you're here to reconcile your higher ideals, as I've said, to accept the world as it is, basically. To achieve this, you need social skills, you need tact, you need diplomacy to get the job done behind the scenes. You need an attitude of service to help others, with a realistic step-by-step plan, perseverance and hard work. So your 24 energy in the positive, you've realized that your ideals might not necessarily be achievable, and you're okay with that. You've accepted it. You have a strong, willing and productive team around you because you're so good in a team. You've either built the team or you've joined a team that is very supportive and you support them. And you have a realistic, watertight, step-by-step process to ensure that strong foundation. Really important that you don't cut corners. The 42/6 energy, you have the potential to be perfectionistic, just as I've said for the life path 6. But in the 2, you can also be a bit of a sensitive drama queen. You can sometimes give too much because you're a server and harbour a bit of resentment and fold your arms, I'm not doing it attitude. In the 4, you can be a bit directionless and disorganised, cutting corners in your impatience, making that foundation impossible to achieve. Right, last but not least, the 51-6. So again, because it's the most significant of your sub-lessons, I'm going to start with the 1. So to be the best life path 6 that you can be, you must lead others to the practical fruition of your new, unique, groundbreaking ideas with confidence and independence, and find inner freedom through finding a specialism. Okay? If you're a life path 51-6, you're here to reconcile them high ideals yet again, blah, 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 blah. But to achieve this, to achieve the reconciliation of reality against your ideals, you need to bring realistic, unique ideas to this world and lead the team towards the practical application. Nothing will get you more into the realms of reality than going towards the practical application of your ideas. Excuse me. Oi, young man. This young man claws my sofa. No clawing sofas. Be a good boy. Right. Go on. Out you go, little one. Out you go. That's it. Sorry about that, people. You know about cats and clawing sofas. I just couldn't let him do it and damage my brand new sofa. Right, where was I? Okay. So if you're a high vibration, you're as much a practical realist as you are an idealist. And your new ideas are practical, innovative and groundbreaking, and you confidently express them and independently express them, and you have amazing leadership skills to achieve it. I don't think I've mentioned that enough for the 1. You are a very, very good leader, and you do this within a focused specialism. Okay, so to have new ideas and developing those new ideas through a specialism. So as a 51-6 energy, we have all the usual issues with the life path 6, but you can also display a bit of confidence issues, sometimes anger. You can sometimes be either over assertive, over powerful, or overly shy and low self-esteem. You sort of swing either way of the continuum, and you can get very angry and frustrated quite easily, and selfish streak. And you can fail to focus on things. Okay, so this video has been a bit longer. I hope that's been all right, guys. I've gone on a bit today, and I hope you've enjoyed my video on the life path 6. So if you like my video, I'm new to YouTube, so I have precious little subscribers. Take pity on me and subscribe to my channel, like my videos, but hit that bell icon too, because I'm always uploading new videos, and it will keep you up to date with my latest content. If you want to ask me any questions or book a reading with me, a numerological reading, you can email me at katie@soulexplorer.net, or visit my website and contact me through there. There isn't much on the website yet. You know, I keep saying I'm going to do more to it, and I will. I just haven't yet. And I'm also on all the social media sites under Soul Explorer. So look me up, guys. And I'm looking forward to speaking to you again soon for my next Life Path 7 energy video. I hope you have a great night, guys. Love you all. Bye-bye.